Hey, I'm slahser, not the same person as slashstrike, and this is my way of playing Crystal Maiden. This is going to be a support guide to Crystal Maiden. I have tried this hero in the jungle, rushing fast Midas, and even mid, but I just couldn't make it work, and I lost a lot. So we will be supporting in the safe lane, getting courier and wards for the team. Normally supports are thought as strongest in the early game, and getting weaker as the game progresses. I will here argue that the reverse is actually true for Crystal Maiden, at least in some games. What makes Crystal Maiden really unique, and what makes me love her, is her ultimate. And she is cute too. Anyways, a good Frisian field can decimate the enemy team, and if you manage to have a BKB and a blink dagger in the late game, you can have a huge impact. Some supports, like Vengeful and Bane, just need experience to be useful, and can even survive quite well with no items. In contrast, Crystal Maiden needs items early on to be able to survive, and she benefits a lot from items such as Blink and BKB. Like Earthshaker, who becomes much more useful with Blink, if Crystal Maiden manages to get a Blink and BKB, she can own the enemy team. I will usually start buying Courier, Observers and Sentries, and then getting Tangus and a few Clarities. I will then get Boots, and after Boots I will try to have one Mango in my inventory. Mango is nice on her since you will have problems with mana casting both nukes and then her ultimate. At level 6 you don't even have enough mana to cast both your nukes and ulti, but Mango saves the day. The one regen is also nice since we won't be getting Tranquils. Afterwards I get Build of Strength to boost her HP and then a casual point booster. If I need inventory space I might upgrade to Treads, but if not I either go for BKB or Blink at this point. With a Build of Strength, Point Booster and Ogre Club, you get a lot of HP for little gold. Generally, getting BKB before Blink is the safe option in regards to your ulti, but getting Blink before BKB is also fine. Then I might manage to get an Aghanim Slater, but that is more a luxury item compared to Blink and BKB. Glimmer Cape is a good item on her as well, but its high mana cost is a problem for Crystal Maiden early on. Tranquil boots are common on her, but I actually don't think that item is optimal. The problem is that Crystal Maiden has low HP and also has a lot of mana problems, so while the regen is nice, you can easily run out of mana and be full HP. The extra armor isn't that useful either since you got 600 HP when you get Tranquils and will die to a few nukes anyway. I rather prefer just boosting her HP and mana as much as possible in the beginning and skipping Tranquils. So as a small rant, I really think the current idea always making Crystal Maiden the biggest ward bitch on the team is misguided. Now I'm not going to recommend you to not buy wards or courier as Crystal Maiden, simply because that is so deeply ingrained in people and they will flame you if you don't. But it makes much more sense for a support like Winter Wyvern to buy those things, and giving Crystal Maiden the 4th position on the team or perhaps the 3rd position. I'd even rather see Spiritbreaker than Crystal Maiden buy wards, since Spiritbreaker is also one of the heroes who don't really need many items and who can survive on no items in the start. With an abysmal 285 move speed, 450 HP and 1 armor at level 1, Crystal Maiden can easily just end up feeding the enemy team. She really needs a few items in the beginning to boost hero survivability, such as Build of Strength and Point Booster, or she will likely feed. I generally recommend staying in lane early on, supporting your carry and not going much alone, since if you get caught, you will likely die. I usually take Frostbite level 1, then either get Crystal Nova or Arcane Aura level 2, depending on my team and how many Clarities I got, and I will always have 1 point in each spell at level 3. Afterwards I will max my Crystal Nova first, getting ultimate whenever possible, and maxing Frostbite afterwards. I max Crystal Nova first since the damage is AoE, but also because the slow goes from 20 to 50%. 50% slow for 4.5 seconds is very strong. Ulti is just a beast of a spell if you get a good one off, and is always worth getting at level 6 and maxing. I usually don't level aura beyond 1 point and prefer stats instead at level 12. This is just personal preference however, and I'm not sure if it's better to max aura at level 12 to 14 or getting stats instead. If the enemy get BKBs later, your usefulness will fall a bit. However, at some point the BKBs will be 5 seconds and won't be much of a problem. It can be worth it to just stay back during the fight and wait for the BKBs to run out. When they run out, you can blink in and ulti. It's not always that you can do this, however, depending on how tanky and strong your team is. At the end, I like to ask a favor from you guys. As some of you may know, besides Dota, I'm studying philosophy and English. I have started a new channel where I talk about history, philosophy and literature. It's called Stay a While and Listen. And my latest video is about a phenomenon known as suicide murder, which is basically murdering someone to get yourself executed. This was common in the 18th century, and I analyzed the phenomenon in my latest video. I have also made a video about Socrates' death and about ostracism, which is banishment by vote in Athens. It would mean a lot to me if you would check out my channel. And lastly, a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate your guys' support for these guides.